What's good, guys? You know who is this? This is your boy Carlos, the Colombian guy. Welcome to my YouTube channel once again. And today I would like to bring you the latest updates about my beautiful city, Cartagena, Colombia. And if y'all don't want to lose any details about the current situation in Cartagena, please stay with me. So let me just go ahead, let me just speak facts so my intro won't take so long, because in Cartagena, Colombia, two tourists were victims of the millionaire riot, and then they got robbed for about 10 million pesos, something about like $2,600. So stay with me to jump in the article. This is sort of like this. Tourists from Denmark were victims of the millionaire riot. Through the X platform, a young man reported that some tourist friends who arrived from Denmark were victims of the millionaire riot upon arriving in the city at the Cartagena airport. According to the citizens, the foreigners were robbed of 10 million pesos. After the incident, he turned to X to inform Mayor Turbay, who put the tourist department and the police in charge of the case. So this is the current situation in Cartagena, Colombia, and my best advice all the time would be like, hey, if it's your first time that you coming to Colombia, no matter what city I should come in, Cartagena, Medellin, Bogota, there is so many Facebook groups that you can join to. You can reach out and ask all the questions that you need to ask, for not to be in trouble in this type of situation that, these tourists from Denmark, now they are in. But, like, honestly, like, there is no way, like how you can prevent, like to get robbed in Colombia, because it can happen anytime, any day. But but there is some things that you can do for not to get targeted, when you are in Colombia, and you're gonna have a great and amazing time. You know what I mean? But honestly, in majority of this case that the millionaire riot happened is because like they jump with a strange driver, like taxi drivers, they barely do that. I see like more this experience, with the Uber drivers, all of that. And the millionaire riot is like, let's say, I already said that before, but it's sometimes it's good to remind, all the time. So the millionaire riot is when you jump in a car and then you get robbed by the driver. I'm not trying to say taxi driver or something. You get robbed by the driver, they stole like your credit card, all of that. But in majority of the case, like they will rob your phone, none of that. They will take you to an ATM, and they will trying to pull you to get some money out and then leave you, any way they can. But like I said, this kind of situation is so sad, but unfortunately, this is the recent updates about the city. So hey, but what is kind of like weird, well, not weird to me, what is kind of bad to me is because this situation actually happened at the airport, and this is not looking good for the city, because for this type of things, it can ruin a little bit the reputation of the city. Bad, like I say, this happened every day to a lot of Colombians in Colombia, and it's kind of like you just gotta keep an eyes in your back, all of that. So far, like they haven't said nothing like some gurus, working gurus were involved, all of that. But in majority of the case, some gurus, they are involved, they are part of the game. But I don't think like it's the same case with these guys right here. But I hope like they can fix their situation, things can get better for them, because like I said, this is really, really bad for the city, because taking a call like a lot of tourists come to the city, this is not looking good for the city. So let's jump in the next story. Let's start with this sort of like this. According to data from the Metropolitan Police, in 2024, a total of 319 cases of deaths from foreigners have been registered, while in the last 18 months, a total of 940 cases has been recorded, which is equivalent to an average of 52 robberies per month. The points of the city where the most robberies occur among tourists are the beaches of Boca Grandes and Marbella, Pie de la Popa, and History Center in the early morning hours. In addition, two entities identified that the most used modality to scam tourists consists of using women in bars or nightclubs as a hook to attract them and supply them with escopolamine. There are few tourists who report After an incident of insecurity, the foreigners fall prey to panic and seek to get a flight as soon as is possible and leave. As a tourist, no one travels to be robbed and is not prepared for it. Of course, that is why it's important that the district has optimal channels so that visitors can report it, say Michael Carrillo, security advisor. Police monitoring indicates that among the objects most covered by the ties would be high-end watches, gold chains, cell phones, and credit cards. On the other hand, the national average of robberies against tourists in the last 18 months would be close to 900 cases of deaths per month, while Bogota and Department of Antioquia are where the highest complaints are filed by busy tourists. So doing my humble investigation, I also found this document here, this news that say that this morning in Cartagena, almost about 52 cases of tourists getting robbed in the city are being reported. And maybe some people, they might say, why are you saying that about Cartagena? Why are you talking bad? I'm not talking bad about the city. I'm just trying to put the reality on the table so I can help people. I can say even, some lies, because in a lot of, or this case, the gangster, they ending shooting the victims all the time. But like majority of this case, they happen like in Boca Grande, Old City, Marbella sometimes. And it happened in the early morning, like it's so easy for them just to attack the big thing and then run away like nothing happened. You know what I mean? But like I said, in the old city, it's like where I always used to see like this type of case. That's the reason why I don't recommend people to be walking around in the old city, in the clock tower too late, like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. in the morning, because majority of the police at that time, they are changing, changing the tour. So like it takes like sometimes like 1 or 2 hours for them to get back in the game. And majority of people like, they operate in the old city. They know what's up. Like they kind of study, how the police move over there. And then it's easy for them just to snatch a chain, snatch a phone, and then just run around, of the clock tower of the old city. But like I say, this happened like once in a blue moon. It don't happen like constantly over there. But you gotta keep an eyes on your back, because this could really happen, especially in the early mornings. They have a lot of police in the old city, but it's no guarantee you, like full immunity or something, like something can happen to you if they see the opportunity that they can do that. Like I say, Cartagena is not a city like probably the locals, they will rob you like everywhere or something. Like they will see, if they see the opportunities to rob a tourist, they will. If they see the opportunities that they can scam a tourist, they will. Not everybody back, like a high percent, the people like, for example, talking about the scams at the beach, in Cholon, in the city, it's because, like majority of some of the vendors, they just trying to take advantage of the tourists, all of that. Like I say, if they see the opportunities that they can take advantage, some of them, they will, because I don't want to blame, everybody and their mama just because few of them, they've been doing this game for a while, they don't deserve, to be blamed, for this type of things. But like I say, like, hey, you don't have to flex. In Colombia, in Cartagena, you don't have to flex in Medellin. If you had a gold chain, just please leave it at your Airbnb, hotel, bridge, hostel, anywhere you're staying or something. But, like, don't try to flex, watch, stuff like that, because, like, you can lose your life over a phone, over a chain, over a watch, and this, this is just material things that you can recover, in majority of the case. But like I said, this is my advice, when you're going to cross the street, all of that, don't be pulling out your phone, bag, and stuff like that, because people can relax, like they can see if you are from here, if you Colombian, or if you are tourist, because they know majority of that. We move different, you know what I mean? Sometimes I'm in the taxi and I see the tourists like, they walk around with the phone on their hands or something, this is something like we don't do in Cartagena, we don't do, honestly, majority of the cities in Colombia. Because people, they just show up, like in the motorcycle or something, they kind of snatch you back and then run away and act like nothing happened, you know what I mean? Like I say, if something happened to you, if you are in this kind of situation, just give away everything you have. Please don't put your life in danger, because it doesn't really, it doesn't really work to put your life in danger where you can recover all these material things. I'm gonna leave all the news at the description of my video so you guys can go there and read, you know, all the current situation in Cartagena, Colombia. Like I say, you know, I'm not trying to talk bad things about the city. I'm not trying to, you know, like create bad reputation. I'm not trying to scare nobody in the city. But like I say, please keep an eye all the time when you gonna jump in an Uber, when you gonna jump in a taxi, you know, especially taxis from the airport. With this case already happened, I always recommend if you don't feel like, you know, taking an Uber or something, all the taxis that are outside from the airport for the international entrance, you know, when you walk out the international doors, there is some taxis over there. This is the taxis that they really like work for the airport. You know, majority of them with the line is they work for the airport. They're like 24/7. They kind of like, you know, drivers that you can trust. But you know, if it's somebody like driver, you know, Uber, I trust them too. But you know, like I said, majority of the millionaire rides that been occurring in this kind of car. And I hope, you know, like these guys, you know, they've been saying the reality, because like, you know, it's been so many cases. This is what not really happened, and they've been saying, oh, you know, this is actually what happened. But like I said, you know, I don't try to judge nobody, and I hope, you know, that they can recover themselves of this and they can have a great time back in the countries in the, I guess, you know, they had to live. So guys, that was all for today. I hope you guys like my video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much. Thank you for everything. None of this would be possible without you watching me behind the screen. So all I can say is thank you so much. Thanks for everything. And for you guys, any day, anytime, any moment you guys come into Cartagena, Colombia, please don't forget to hit me up, because I own a tourist company in Cartagena. We offer tours like Volcano, Palenque, private boats, private yachts, you know, private villas, all of that. So, you know, like, feel free to follow me also in ID like CTG Connections. That's the name of my company. So see you soon, y'all. See you next time. This was your boy Carlos, the Colombian guy. Boom, boom, boom.